HP's oscilloscope and pulse generator mobile lab is truly a new concept in sales support. For the first time, our entire scope and pulse generator product lines are available in one convenient mobile display room. There are over 150 mainframes, plug-ins, and signal sources on board, set up in 23 separate displays, each capable of demonstrating the significant features of our product lines. This represents over $250,000 investment, which is made available to your customer at his own doorstep. Hi, I'm Joe Duntz from the Colorado Springs Division, and for the next few minutes, I'll be familiarizing you with this rather unique selling device. This mobile lab over the last 8 months has traveled some 20,000 miles and has been an unqualified success in visiting over 400 customer facilities. The equipment on board is divided into 3 areas. The front compartment features our lower frequency, general purpose, and portable oscilloscopes, XY displays, and our general purpose pulse generators. It includes the entire 140 system, the new 1700 portable oscilloscope series, the 1300 family of XY and graphic displays, the 1200 series, and the 8000 family of pulse generators. In the passageway between compartments are 2 displays highlighting the complete line of HP probes. The second compartment features the entire 180 laboratory oscilloscope line, including all recent product introductions. A variety of 1900 systems are used as signal sources. A video tape recorder and monitor are also located in this section, offering several 5-minute programs highlighting selected features and applications of HP scopes. At the rear are 3 1900 pulse system demonstrations: the digital programming interface, the multi-phase clock for MOS applications, and the pseudorandom bit sequence generator. Now, let's go on board and take a closer look at these instruments and demonstrations. One of the first things your customer sees as he enters the bus is a sign highlighting Hewlett Packard's oscilloscope theme. Scopes are changing, are you? This question is intended to set the stage for your customer's visit through the bus. As he enters the front compartment, he immediately gets a very strong visual impression that HP is truly in the oscilloscope market. The entire 140 system is highlighted in this double bay console, including a display of all of the 140 plug-ins. The active displays in this area include the 143 large screen mainframe together with a 1415 TDR unit. The waveform being displayed is the result of the 1415 driving a demo stripline board. With this display, you can easily discuss the basic measurement technique and capabilities of time domain reflectometry. The written field training manual for the mobile lab gives details on this as well as all of the demonstrations. It highlights the prominent features of each instrument and gives some suggestions on demonstrating them. The second active display in the 140 area features the 140B 5-inch CRT mainframe, along with the model 1404 real-time vertical and the 1421 delayed sweep time base. The display is driven by a demo box behind this panel. Access is gained through the rear door of the compartment. The display is of 4 time-related digital waveforms and is a very excellent means of demonstrating the 140's capability in multiple-channel digital applications. The third live demonstration in the 140 area is the 8555B 8552A spectrum analyzer in a 141B variable persistence mainframe. By far, the star attraction in the front compartment is the 1700 series of portable oscilloscopes. This series is represented on the bus with the model 1700A, 1701A, and 1707A. Be sure to point out the logical front panel layout, the large CRT screen size, and the brightness of the display at low rep rates. The 1707A's covers have been replaced with clear plastic ones to highlight the serviceability and ease of calibration in the 1700 series. Point out the use of printed circuit boards rather than rotary switches, the modular internal design, the location of the internal battery pack, and the relatively few number of internal adjustments. The 1700A is driven by an 8007A pulse generator located on the shelf immediately above. Emphasize that the logical front panel layout and the use of push buttons really simplifies display setups. Using the 8007 in the double pulse mode will also allow you to demonstrate the feature of trigger hold-off, often required in digital applications. The 1701A is connected to the model 8006A word generator, and here the emphasis is specifically on digital applications with a delayed sweep time base. Again, point out the simplicity and ease of operation, and be sure to demonstrate selectable internal triggering and delayed sweep operation. The 1707A is driven by two sources. One, a 3200B CW generator, used primarily to show the excellent triggering capability of the 1700 series, and the other, an 8012 pulse generator, to show the clean pulse response of the vertical amplifiers. This particular version of the 1707A includes the Option 20 lab package, which adds the features of Channel A output, calibrated delayed sweep, mixed sweep, external horizontal input, and external delayed sweep trigger input. This package adds only $125 to the base price. At the far side of the compartment is a display featuring the 1300 family of XY and graphic displays. The recently introduced Model 1311A 14-inch display is on top, and below it the 1330A and 1331A 5-inch XY displays. Unfortunately, we were unable to add any source on board which exercises these displays to their fullest extent. The Lissajou pattern you see is derived from two 3310s and two 204s located on the shelf beside the rack. The 1310 and 11 XY displays represent a significant contribution to the graphic display market. They use electrostatic CRTs, giving very excellent spot size, good large step jump response, and very bright character displays. They are significantly lower in weight than competitive units, use less power, and have an extreme price advantage at $3,000. Don't forget to mention that on all 1300 display products, Hewlett Packard offers an OEM discount. Below the 1300 displays is a representative sample of our low-frequency line, the 1200 series. Active displays in this area will allow you to demonstrate their excellent high common mode rejection, variable persistence and storage, and dual-channel flexibility. At the very bottom of this display is Hewlett Packard's lowest price scope, the 120B. Moving to the rear compartment, we find the complete 180 system featured. There are 12 active displays in this area, which will allow you to simulate most any laboratory oscilloscope application. The plug-in versatility of the 180 system is exemplified with a large plug-in display board featuring all the vertical, time base, and sampling plug-ins within the 180 family. The most notable attraction in this compartment is the 182 mainframe mounted on a pedestal. The clear plastic cover allows you to show the instrument's modular construction and ease of servicing. A short 5-minute videotape is available on board, which highlights the significant contribution Hewlett Packard has made to the serviceability of their instruments. To the left of the compartment are three general-purpose demonstrations. At the top of the console, we have the new Model 1810 1 GHz sampling plug-in in a 181AR variable persistence mainframe. This system is being driven by the Model 1920 350 picosecond output stage of the 1900 system, allowing the clean frequency response of the 1810 to be shown. Point out that the two most important features of the 1810 are its price at $1,650 and its ease of operation. The second oscilloscope and pulse source provide an effective demonstration to your high-speed digital customers. The Model 183B mainframe with the 1830A, 1841A real-time plug-ins is connected to a 1925 word generator through a 1920 output stage. With this display, you can demonstrate HP's scope capability in high-speed digital applications, including the unique trigger circuits and delayed sweep operation available in the 1841A. The third display introduces the Model 1807A, a 35 MHz dual-channel vertical plug-in. With this instrument, the all-solid-state, reliable laboratory performance of the 180 family is extended to mid-frequency scope applications at a system price well under $2,000, including the large-screen 182 mainframe and a single-sweep time base. On the shelf between the two display racks are four 180 cabinet displays. The 180F militarized system exemplifies our capability in ruggedized scope design. Next to it is another new introduction to the family, the 180C mainframe, a higher writing speed version of the 180A. Its writing speed specification is 1,500 divisions per microsecond, some 3 to 5 times faster than the 180A. It's spec'd without fogging, using a 195 camera, ASA 10,000 film, and P31 phosphor. It's significant to note that this writing speed is compatible with the bandwidth of the 180 system. For example, with an 1802, a single shot, 3.5 nanosecond rise time, 6 division high pulse can be captured on film. Another plus feature of the 180C and its rack version, the 180D, is serviceability. The low voltage power supply is a modular plug-in type unit very similar to the 182. The complete module may be pulled out the rear of the instrument and operated fully exposed on the bench for troubleshooting. Yet another new entry to the 180 family is the Model 1808A, 75 MHz, 5 millivolt dual-channel vertical plug-in for the general-purpose high-performance market. Its most unique feature is a new thick-film input attenuator, which provides both a high input impedance configuration with low 12 puffs of shunt capacitance for general-purpose applications and a switchable, high-quality 50-ohm internal termination for accurate high-frequency measurements. The price of the 1808A is $875. The third display on the shelf is another 1810, this time in a large-screen 182 mainframe. A 3200B is available to show the unit's easy, stable triggering over a wide range of frequencies. For a pulse display, use the 800 picosecond calibrator output from the adjacent 183A, the fourth display. The output of the 3200B can also be used here to demonstrate the very excellent triggering capabilities of the 1841A. At the right side of the compartment, we have our high-frequency applications display. At the top is the Model 1580 narrowband TDR system, complete with 20 feet of waveguide mounted on the side of the rack. Wideband TDR, as you recall, allows the operator to characterize a wideband transmission system in distance versus impedance, However, wideband TDR suffers from many limitations when it's applied to a narrowband transmission device such as waveguide. The Model 1580 allows the operator to inspect his narrowband transmission system at a specified frequency of operation. And H33 8690B, located at the bottom of the rack, is used as the RF source. Effective demonstrations include the measurement of insertion loss, the length of the waveguide transmission system, and the location of some variable impedance discontinuities. The field training manual contains a complete discussion of this demonstration. The full 600 MHz capability of the 183 system is shown in the next display, including the 183D mainframe, a Model 1831B direct access vertical plug-in, and the 1840A time base. This system is connected to a sub-nanosecond pulse generator behind this display panel, and the 700 picosecond rise time bandwidth of the oscilloscope is easily verified. The next two oscilloscope systems are used to demonstrate HP's 50 ohm and high frequency probing application story. These include the Model 181 AR mainframe with an 1802 and 1822, along with the 183B mainframe 1830 and 1840. The accompanying demo board is driven by a 1920 output stage. It provides probing points at 4 different source impedances and allows the operator to verify that the most accurate rise time measurement can only be made if he chooses a probe with the lowest shunt resistance and capacitance. A short 5-minute videotape is available on board to highlight the basic considerations in making accurate high-frequency probe measurements. Be sure to point out that HP is the only manufacturer that offers the widest selection of high-frequency probes for optimum accuracy. At the far rear of the bus, 3 examples of the 1900 plug-in system are available. These demonstrations strongly highlight the versatility available in a plug-in pulse generator. On the left is the Model 6936S digital programming interface and a 1900 system with a digital programming option. Unfortunately, space requirements would not allow us to have an active computer on board. But if you refer to the field training manual, you'll find that a manual demonstration of the system's capabilities will be adequate. The most significant contribution of the digital interface is that up to 32 mainframes of the 1900 system can be completely digitally programmed with only 1 I/O slot, a significant cost savings in computer hardware. The next display is for your MOS shift register customers. It features a Model 1934A multi-phase clock. This clock, together with a rate source, data generator, and output drivers, shows the complete flexibility of the 1900 in solving MOS shift register testing needs. The final 1900 display highlights the Model 1930A pseudorandom bit sequence generator. This demonstration will be of interest to your digital transmission and communication customers. The 1930 is capable of accepting serial data from a transmission line and comparing it bit by bit to a previously stored word or a predetermined sequence. It's also capable of generating variable length pseudorandom bit sequences, either automatically or under computer control, and it may also be used to encode and decode serial data messages. Well, that's what we call the newest concept in mobile labs. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to show you all the demonstrations possible, but I'm sure you can see with a full complement of scopes and compatible CW and pulse sources on board, there are a few applications you couldn't simulate. And I'm sure your customer will have the feeling when he leaves the mobile lab that scopes are changing. And with HP, they're changing for the better. They're more functional. They're easier to use and service. And they have the best price-performance ratio available.
The Oscilloscope Mobile Lab has truly been a great success. From the reports we've received, it's obvious that this tool is a long way from using up its usefulness, and therefore a new mobile lab called Scope 2 is about to embark on another tour. From the outside, you'll notice that Scope 2 is a little different than the previous mobile lab. It's slightly larger, and as you will see, contains several features which make it even better than the previous mobile lab. Of course, we've maintained features such as separate display rooms, facilities for cabinet as well as rack instruments, and of course the ever-useful beer cooler. As you step inside, you're greeted by a poster of our ruggedized Go Anywhere 1700. You did see the scope, didn't you? Looking to the rear of the bus, you'll notice a large, fully carpeted display room featuring our low-frequency and portable line of oscilloscopes. By far the star of the show in this compartment is the 1700 series. 8000 series pulsars supply any signals for demonstrations. In the second room, there's a very extensive display of the 180 line. Every plug-in and mainframe in this new generation of the 180 is shown either alone or in a working demonstration. The 1900 series is the primary demo source in this area. The most significant difference between this bus and the previous mobile lab is the rear compartment. It provides a separate area for videotape viewing and also serves as a small office for person-to-person discussions. Now that we've gone over the bus in a broad brush approach, let's look at the individual displays. Each display on this mobile lab demonstrates one specific feature of our oscilloscopes or pulse generators. Be sure to review the bus training manual for details of each demonstration and also for operational details. Throughout the new bus are many storage scopes. Since we have a distinct advantage in the storage area, this technology is emphasized. At the top of the first rack are two models of our XY display line. Use the Lissajous patterns on the 1330 and 1331 to highlight the difference between storage and non-storage displays. If you have any OEM medical customers, make sure they see these two displays as they are finding increasing use in that market. Beneath these two XY displays are several models of our 1200 line. With the versatile 1200, a customer can customize a scope to his particular need. For example, the 1201A and 1201B show the cabinet and rack configurations. Both scopes demonstrate how variable persistence can eliminate display flicker. The 1205B and 1217A are examples of the bandwidths available in the 1200 series, both 500 kilohertz and 7 megahertz. Comparing the 1205 to the 1200 shows the various sensitivities available, both 5 millivolt and 100 microvolt. Two 8003A pulsars provide stimulus for these 1200 series scopes. Using various combinations of these models, you can show the complete versatility of this low-frequency line of oscilloscopes. By far the largest display in this compartment is the 1700 series. The portables are very well represented on this mobile lab, and we used every opportunity to show HP exclusives and innovations. Depending on the time that you get the mobile lab, these displays may change as new products are introduced. The most common display will contain a 1703 storage model, a 150 megahertz 1710, a 1700 non-delayed sweep 35 megahertz model, a delayed sweep 1701, the 75 megahertz 1707, and the ruggedized 1700B option 300. Various signal sources are available, including our 8000 series of pulsars, the 226 time marker, and several CW sources. Due to the decreasing use of the 140 system, the display area is very small. The most popular 140 mainframe, the 141T, is shown with two spectrum analyzer plugins donated by Microwave. This also allows you to discuss the benefits of HP variable persistence and the rugged, carefree storage. The balance of the 140 display is made up of a backlit graphic containing a selection chart. The last display in the front compartment is the 1311, one model of our large screen XY displays. Moving to the rear of the bus, you'll see two display panels containing all of the available probes. Be sure to point out convenience features such as the replaceable probe cables. In the second room, the new plug-in board contains the new generation of 180 verticals and time bases. It shows our complete coverage of the frequency line from 500 kilohertz to 18 gigahertz, including both high resolution and general purpose TDR. The rest of the displays use various combinations of these plug-ins in mainframes which offer significant benefits. You'll again notice a large number of storage instruments in the 180 section. This rack contains three examples of our general purpose coverage. At the top is the Cadillac of the line, the 181, 1805, and 1825. The 1900 system used as a signal source supplies a fast rise time from the 1921 output stage and a digital format using the 1925 word generator. The second system is for the cost-conscious buyer. The 180D, 1807, and 1820C can be purchased for less than $2,000 and gives 35 megacycle bandwidth, sweeps to 5 nanoseconds per division, excellent triggering, and a high writing rate. The 1915 system allows you to simulate any pulse that might be necessary to demonstrate the 1807. If your customer is interested in the 50-volt output of the 1915, be sure to use the high power load in a drawer on board. A third system has capabilities between the first two. It uses a 75 megahertz vertical and an expander time base, which gives most of the capability of delayed sweep at significant savings. The 8007A pulse generator can be used to supply pulse signals to demonstrate the 1808. The bench contains four other examples of our 180 series. The 1 gigahertz sampler, the 1810, is contained in a 180C mainframe. This 1920 system, with its fast 350 picosecond rise time, is available to show the 1810's pulse capability. A 183, 1830, 1841 system is our high-frequency delayed sweep system. The 1 nanosecond rise time of the calibrator verifies the 1830 rise time, while an 8006 shows digital triggering and hold-off. Again, storage is highlighted with a 181, 1801, 1821 system. This shows our general purpose 50 megacycle capability and is a good demonstration for storage. Use this scope to show exactly how carefree our storage tube is. Our high-frequency large screen capability is shown with this 182, 1805, 1825. The 8006A or 226 will allow you to show the switchable input impedance capability of the 1805 and the timing capabilities of the 1825. On the pedestal is another 182 containing an 1804 and 1825. We're using a 4-channel demo box to highlight the 1804, 1825 features such as selectable triggering and mixed sweep. This scope also has plastic covers, so point out the excellent serviceability in the 182. This rack contains some special purpose 180 scopes. Storage models are again highlighted in this low rep rate sampling system using the 1810 driven by a 1920. Our new low-cost TDR plug-in, the 1818, is contained in this 180D. A series of cables using various connectors provides a demonstration of the coax capability of the 1818. On the display, you can see each different connector and also resolve two connectors that are spaced very closely together. One piece of coax has a notch in it to show the 1818's capability of locating cable faults. A sub-nanosecond pulsar providing a 30-volt output drives a 500 megacycle 1831B in this system. Point out the selectable scan capability and the small spot size of this 183D mainframe. Its primary use is in single-shot photographic applications. The last demonstration in this rack also shows a new plug-in, the 1811A 18 gigahertz sampler. This demonstration is set up and hardwired to minimize the plumbing aspects of a sampling demonstration. The 8694 outputs a 10 gigahertz signal, which is then sampled by the 1430C. An 1104-1106 countdown unit is then used for triggering. A Sony half-inch videotape recorder is located in the rack beneath the 8690 sweeper. The rear of the bus contains the videotape monitor and headphones. In this area, we also show several versions of our pulsar systems, both dedicated and non-dedicated. A 1930 demonstration shows our communication testing capability, while this 8007 is perfectly suited for digital integrated circuit testing. I hope this short tour brings you up to speed on our new mobile lab, and I know you can't wait to use it. Last time we told customers scopes have changed. Scope 2 will give you the opportunity to show them that they still are changing and HP's in the lead.
Hi, I'm Mary Nipman. I'm one of the nurses at Hewlett Packard Company. We have two nurses here. I start at 7 o'clock in the morning. The other nurse starts at 12 in the afternoon. And we are here from 7 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. We have a swing shift, which is becoming more and more popular, and we have more and more people working the swing shift. If you have a problem and need to call us, please do. We're on call after we go home at 8. I will give you our telephone numbers, our home telephone numbers, before you leave here today. I'd like to give you a little bit of safety orientation today before we throw you out into the thrones of the plant, because you're going to find yourself dealing with all sorts of things out there. We have a lot of caustics, we have a lot of acids out on the various lines, and I know you girls have found out downstairs that you're using different kinds of cleaners. Those cleaners usually contain acid, and we would like to tell you today what to do if you get acid in your eye, if you become associated with acid on your skin. We want you to wash it off and take care of it promptly. We also want to tell you, and you probably already know, that safety glasses are pretty mandatory at Hewlett Packard. You all have a pair. You all have been given a pair. If you wear prescription glasses, we will buy your prescription glasses for you. If your prescription is over a year old, then we ask you to get a new prescription from your doctor and bring it into either Laura or I, and we will buy your safety prescription glasses for you. We like to get your prescription glasses on you within about 3 weeks, so if your prescription is over a year old, please come in and let us know so we can get you set up and get you going. If you should get chemical in your eye or chemical on your skin, we ask you to wash that and to wash it profusely and then come into first aid. First aid, as you probably already know, sits in the middle of the two buildings. And if you people are coming up from downstairs, you have almost a mile to walk. If you splash acid in your eye, that acid is reacting all the time you're walking. So we ask you to wash it out. You should have an eye wash down there. Wash it out and wash it out real well. And then wash it out again and wash it out again, and then come up to first aid and let us take care of it. Dilute that acid and then come up and let us take care of it. The same way with acid on your skin. If you're working with acid, you have soap and water very nearby. So I forgot what I was going to say. Wash it off very, very well, and then come up to first aid and let us take care of it. If you have a foreign body in the eye, and a lot of you girls are clipping, and when you clip, usually the little piece of metal, the little piece of clipping will settle in the lower part of your eye. Come on up to first aid and let us remove it. While you're coming to first aid, if you can take your finger and hold your eye open so that you're not scratching your eye all the time, it helps a bunch. So try and hold it open. If you can't, just come on up and let us take a look at it. We like very much to take care of all scrapes and scratches and punctures. You people get very, very busy. Maybe you're working on an instrument. You do not want to stop and take the time to come to first aid, and you think, well, as soon as I get done with this instrument, I'll go down and I'll tell the girls about it. We worry more about the small cuts, the small scrapes, the small punctures than we do about the big ones. We know you're going to take care of the big ones. The little ones get infected, and they get infected rather quickly. No matter where you're working, they're going to get dirty. If you puncture yourself, even though it's a small puncture, maybe it's just a staple puncture, maybe it won't even bleed, but it hurts. Come on up and let us clean it out and soak it out so that you will not get infection in it. A puncture wound is a very good wound to grow a very good culture. It's nice and dark down there, it's nice and warm down there, and this is where your germs like to grow, and this is where your infections like to grow. So come on in and let us take care of it so that you will not get an infection. A small infection like that can put you in the hospital in about 6 hours. So come on in and let us take care of it. Same way with bruises and contusions. If you're injured, if you fall, first of all, if you fall, you're going to be very embarrassed. You're going to kind of get up and look around and see who's been looking at you. You think, well, I'm not hurt. I'm not going to go in there. I'm not going to report it. Come on in and report it, because maybe 3 hours later, or maybe even a day later, you may have a knee or a shoulder or an elbow that's really going to be hurting you. So come on in and report it so that we can take care of it. Maybe we need to put ice on it. Sometimes you can jam a finger. Sometimes you can jam a wrist. We want to see that wrist. We want to see that finger. We want to give it first aid. So come on in and report your accident to us and let us take care of it. If you do not report an accident and you have problems with it later, it's awfully hard for us to do something about it. We're not mind readers. We don't know that you're sitting out on the line suffering. So come on in and tell us you're suffering so that we can report this and report this to the Industrial Commission. If you have an accident and it is not reported, they will dock you every day for it, the time that it is not reported. I want you to take these and read these. These are posted in different parts of the plant. And they tell you your rights and they tell you our rights. So we have to follow these very, very carefully. But in order to report an accident, we have to know about it. So please come in and report your accidents. If you're working with solder and you have a solder burn, you treat this very much like you do your acid burn. If there's cold water around, use it. Wash that thermal burn the same way you did with your acid. It's not as important to dilute anything like it would be with your acid, so come on back and let us take care of it. One of the first questions you get when you walk into first aid is, when did you have your last tetanus toxoid booster? If you people are fairly young, you've all had your DPT shots, you have all had your 1, 2, 3 shots when you were children. If you have not had a tetanus booster in the last 8 years, you need to start your series all over again with your family doctor. If he will give you your first one, which he will, I'm sure, if you ask him for it, then we will finish up your series. This is a series of 4. He gives you the first one, we give you your second, third, and fourth one. Your second one is a month apart from your first. They're a month apart until you get to your fourth one, and that fourth one is 6 months apart. And then with an injury, after 8 months, you'll get another one if you have a pretty good injury. We have medications in first aid. We sort of have a home-type medicine cabinet. As you go into first aid, on your right-hand side, there's a big white cabinet. And in that cabinet, you'll find almost everything you would find at home for your own medication. If Laura or I are busy, or if we're not in first aid, just come in and help yourself like you would at home. There's aspirins in there, there's antacids, Vaseline, A&D ointment, Vicks, whatever you might want. Just come in and help yourself. That's what they're put there for, and that's what we want you to use them for. If you have long hair, we ask you to tie it back. We ask you to dress safely. Please do not wear loose clothing that can become entangled in machinery. You feel that maybe perhaps you're not working by machinery. We had an accident not too long ago of a man that was walking by a machine and caught the front of his shirt in a machine. Luckily, he was not hurt badly, but it could have been a very bad accident. So we ask you to dress sensibly. We ask you to wear proper footwear. We cannot wear sandals in the production line. You drop hot solder on your big toe and it hurts. We ask you not to wear leather soles and leather heels. Our floors get very, very slippery downstairs. If you find yourself in the plant, say you've forgotten, and you do have leather soles and leather heels on, come on into first aid and we'll put some tape on the bottom of your shoe like you do your little kids at home so they won't slip and fall. But it works, so come on in, let us do it. Also, in the wintertime, we have a problem with the parking lot. It snows and no one can do anything about it. We try and scrape the parking lot. We try to keep it pretty clear, but it's impossible to keep all the ice and all the snow off of the lot. A lot of the girls wear tennis shoes to work, which is very, very fine inside the building, but it is not proper footwear outside the building. We ask you to wear snow boots, and we ask you to bring your other shoes along and then change your shoes after you get into the building. You come to work, you have tennis shoes on, your feet get warm, the sole of your foot gets warm, you step outside into the snow and it's just slick enough, and the next thing you know you're sitting on the ground. And there we are in an embarrassing condition again, so try and wear proper clothing, proper footwear. I have Bill David here, and Bill David's been around for a long, long time, and he shows you how not to lift. I'm going to have to retire Bill one of these days, I think. Bill shows you to lift, and to lift with your partial or your box close to your body, and to lift with your knees so that you carry your weight on your knees. We ask you not to lift with your bundle out away from your body, because then when you lift where? You lift with your back. Your back is sort of like a piece of elastic. You may be able to lift this box this way 110 times, but that 111th time you may just pull something just the wrong way. And once you tear your ligaments in your back, it takes an awful long time to repair them. Sometimes they really never repair as properly as they should. So we ask you when you lift to lift it close to your body and to put all the weight of that partial on your knees. Also, if you're carrying a box or a bundle somewhere, if you're going to turn with your feet, don't turn with your body, because this puts an awful strain right back here too. So when you lift, remember to lift correctly so that you won't hurt yourself. We allow 15 minutes in the nurse's station before you're docked. If you need to come in for a personal reason, if we need to come in to make a call to your doctor and so on and so forth, we'll come on in and do it, and that usually allows you plenty of time. I've told you about burns, and I'll review that with you in just a minute. Bob Porter makes all our safety glasses. If you have problems wearing your plain glasses, perhaps you do not wear a prescription, and you are having problems wearing your plain glasses, come on in and bug us. We want those glasses to fit properly, and we want them to fit right, and we want you to be able to wear them without any discomfort. So we don't mind being bugged at all, so come on in and bug Laura and I with your glasses until we find a pair that fits you properly. If we have too much problem with it, we'll send you down to Bob Porter. If you should come in with a small cut or scratch, and Laura or I are busy or we're not there, and you feel that you can take care of it yourself like you would at home, we ask you to do this in kind of a special way. On the right side of the sink is plenty of surgical soap and plenty of peroxide. And we ask you to wash that cut or scratch well with those two things. And then we ask you to apply the Band-Aid in this manner. Open it up like you would anywhere, and take your ointment and put it on that Band-Aid, and then put that Band-Aid on that finger. This way we can use this tube of ointment for thousands of people. But if you apply it on yourself directly, then we contaminate this tube and we can't use it on anyone else. So we ask you to put the ointment on the Band-Aid and then apply it to whatever spots you need it. We have our own blood bank at HP. If you or your immediate family should need blood for any reason, just let Laura or I know, or Ruth Stockton downstairs. Ruth Stockton is the insurance gal downstairs, and she will notify us, and we will see that the units of blood are replaced to your credit. We have a blood bank both at St. Francis and at Penrose. It does not matter, perhaps you're on vacation, maybe you're in Wyoming or California and need 3 units of blood, maybe you were in a car accident of some kind. Just let us know and we'll have it transferred to your credits. Okay? If you have any old glasses at home and you're going to throw them out, we would appreciate it very, very much if you'd throw them our way. We save these, and twice a year we send them to the Prevention of Blindness. And they file each one of these lenses. They use the frames, they use the parts. They give them to children that cannot afford them. They give them to families that are not able to buy glasses for their children. They use them for older people. And we are very, very happy to get them. So please give them to us if you're just going to throw them out anyway. If you are out 40 hours ill, you are in the emergency room for any type of observation, if you are in the hospital overnight for any reason, if you have any type of surgery, we need a written permit from your doctor stating that you can return to work. We cannot let you go to work without that written permission. We have the regular forms which state medical release down in our office. You can have that filled out. Say you know you're going into the hospital for a tonsillectomy or something, stop by and get one. In case of an emergency, you're going to find yourself in an emergency room without a slip for some reason. So ask the doctor to take his little prescription blank and fill out, Tom Jones can return to work on Monday morning on such and such a date, and have him sign his John Henry. If you have any restrictions, maybe he doesn't want you to stand all day. Maybe he doesn't want you to sit all day. Maybe he wants you to be off of a foot. Maybe you sprained an ankle up skiing or something. Have him put that restriction on that piece of paper so we are better able to help you take care of yourself. If you are a contact wearer, we need to know about it. OSHA tells us that every contact wearer has to be registered in the nurse's office. So if you should wear contacts, please come in and fill out the little card we have for you. If flu shots are over this year, we offer flu shots every fall. Everyone that needs them can sign up for them. If you have a call out to your doctor and he's going to return a call to you, please ask your doctor to tell the telephone operator that Dr. So-and-so is going to call you, and she'll make a special effort to find you. It's awfully hard to hear your pages sometimes in the building. So just tell doctor, please identify yourself to the switchboard operator, and she'll get a hold of your line leader or someone, so you'll get that call. We have a few things in this little book. Did you all receive one of these when you were hired? Here's to safety. Here's to your health and safety. I think they've helped me out with mine a little bit. I don't think everyone has a cocktail glass in their hand. I want you to go through these tonight when you get home. It tells you how to be safe. It tells you to think safety. If you see a condition that you feel that is unsafe, please notify your supervisor. Let them know so that they can bring it up at the safety committee meeting. If you think that it should have immediate attention, well, please tell him. They appreciate your thoughts. If you see that no action is being taken, please consult one of the members of the safety committee. They all wear green badges, so you can find them in that respect. Tells you in here what you should and what you shouldn't wear. Tells you to be a good housekeeper, and that means if you see something on the floor that someone might slip and fall on, please pick it up. Also, if someone is injured or if you need one of the nurses and you need us right now this minute, dial 234 and they'll have us there. They'll have us there immediately. So if there's always other people around, if they ask you to call the nurse, and please get her now, just dial 234. I'm going to review over here just a little bit some of the things that I have told you. I want to impress on you that if you do have an accident, no matter how slight, if you think that nothing's going to become of it, please come in and report it anyway. If Laura or I are not there, and just come in and write it down. And we have slips that sit by the resuscitator. They look like this. Each month we get out a fresh sheet. If you fill it up, we can find you another one. We ask you to come in, put in your department, the date, your name, and what you did. Perhaps you cut your little finger left hand, maybe you fell on your right elbow. Just put your injury or complaint there and let us know about it. So in case 3 days later you're having difficulty with that elbow or with that little finger, we can do something. It's been recorded. So do you all understand that we report injuries? Okay. Now I'm going to go over here and you can watch the monitor over there, and we'll throw these up. And this is just sort of a little review. I don't think you can read the writing on these, can you? They're just little few cartoons that we found for you. This man who's on crutches who says it happened when I was running to tell a safety man my idea upon safety. He wasn't being very safe because he was running. Okay? And this is Mr. Wiseowl. And we have a lot of Wiseowl members at Hewlett Packard. We have a lot of saved eyes because of the wearing safety glasses. And Susie wrote a little jingle here that says, "We're free, you know, so why don't you show an interest in me and I'll protect you." That's our Wiseowl. And you see several people in the plant with Wiseowl pins on. And that means that their eyesight has been saved because they wear their safety glasses. Some of you have other different type of equipment for that safety glasses. We can be fined, you can be fined. We can be fined for not giving you equipment. You can be fined for not wearing it. So, wear your equipment. This guard is saying that's for emergency eye wash, man. Get acid in your eye, head for the eye wash, but it's not drinking something. Okay? What does this guy do? Dress safely. We don't wear long beads. We don't wear a lot of bracelets. No open sandals. No loose clothing. What does this one show you?
How to lift.
Yeah. It's an awful small job that doesn't take at least one supervisor. And this I forgot to cover with you, but I think maybe this will explain. It's the nurse's job to tell a person that the people next to her are having a hard time breathing the air around them, so keep clean. Many people wear a lot of nylons, and it's hard to keep odor out of nylons. I know with myself, I wear nylon uniforms, and I usually unionize students and you do have to be pretty careful because we're pretty crowded downstairs. We have to work awfully close to one another. This guy is sleeping very, very peacefully because he feels the view well covered as far as accidents are concerned. We have 2 insurance policies at Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard carries a group insurance on you and will also carry it on your family if you sign up for it. And Ms. Stockton will be talking to you and will be explaining that coverage to you. We take care of you if you're injured on the job. So report your accident so that we can take care of you. So you will be well covered as far as insurance is concerned. This is an accident. Connecticut General takes care of this, and that's what Bruce Stockton will be explaining. This is the insurance policy that Hewlett Packard carries in everyone. So, if you have an accident at home, come on in and get an accident form so you can take it to your doctor, so that will be paid for. This is an accident at work. And they tell me this is a bad interpretation because the handles are not supposed to come off. We weren't thinking of that. This reminds you of what? Your tetanus shot. All shots are painless. This man is saying, injury on the job? Yes, we have a record of that accident. The same man is writing a check for your accident and saying, we're glad you reported your accident promptly. And speaking of reporting accidents promptly, get it? If you have an emergency and you want us in a hurry, what's the number you call? 234. If you forget that number, just dial the operator. And we also have our own blood bank at Hewlett Packard, which I explained to you before. And that's a symbol of that. Do any of you have any questions?
We're just a little closer to the city.
I think we're finished for you.
Okay.
Any questions? Anyone? What do you do if you have an accident? What do you do if you have an accident? Report it. What do you do if you have acid in your eye? Then what do you do? You wash it out real quick. What do you do if you have acid on your skin? What do you do for punctures?
Come to you.
Right. What kind of shoes do you not wear as a